Good evening. Good evening. It's Lila here. I got my robe on. It's a little chilly in Colorado, so sometimes I hang out in my robe, nice and cozy. How are you? I had an interesting day today, and I saw someone post about having a morning existential crisis. And I thought I totally understand what that person is talking about. Good morning, Vera. Vera, that sense of existential crisis, like, why am I here? What am I doing? If so, I'm just here to talk about it a little bit tonight. I'm curious, like, have you had that kind of feeling before of, I've had people say to me, like, do you ever have a bad day? And I would say that I don't really have bad days. Hey, Anne-Marie, good evening. I'm in my robe. It's nice and cozy in Colorado. But what I would say is, like, I don't really have bad days, but I do have days where I wonder these kinds of things. I kind of contemplate, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this stuff? Why am I here? So I'm just curious, like, if you've ever had that, give me a heart, give me a comment, something, just to give me a little feedback here that, like, hey, yeah, I've kind of thought about that before. Like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Like, who is this I person that's even saying, why am I here? Hey, Sherry, good evening. I'm talking about existential crisis right now. Sit in my robe this evening, and I've said that, like, I've been asked before, do you ever have a bad day? And I really don't have bad days anymore, per se, but I do have days like this sometimes where I'm, like, wondering, like, good evening, Thomas. Oh, I'm in my robe. I feel kind of, like, seen now. So it's one thing when there's men on. I don't know what it is. When there's a guy on it, it feels somehow weird. It's just interesting. I'll just point that out. But yeah, I have had one of these days where beautiful day, connect with beautiful clients, just beautiful people in my life, been able to be connected to today, and yet still had this sense of, like, I know this means I'm growing, and I would offer that up to you. If you ever wonder, like, what am I doing? Why am I here? What is the point of existence? Right? Some of you may not have ever thought about this stuff, but some of you may, and I do sometimes, not always, but I'm in a space right now of expanding, of growing, and it's definitely uncomfortable in the sense of my inner talk. My inner talk is pretty uncomfortable right now because it's like I have this sense like I need to know everything all of a sudden for some reason. I'll share with you guys, I posted a request for anywhere where you think you may know somebody needing a speaker, wanting somebody to come and share something that might be helpful for their audience. And I'm going this weekend to a weekend event, training event for speakers. And it's been a 6-month program, and this is the weekend event. That's the end of it all. And I know there's going to be 3 days. It's going to be intense. I'm going to be opening up. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm probably going to cry in front of everybody. And so I'm just kind of freaking out, I think, a little bit internally. Not majorly, but just a little bit freak out. My kind of freak out. It's kind of subtle. It's like this backdoor freak out. It's like in the backyard yelling. I'm like, stop it, stop it. Hey, Emily. Hey, Dominic. Ty, good evening. I'm in my robe this evening because it's chilly, so that feels nice. I love cozy stuff. I just washed it and dried it, so it's nice and cozy. But I've been feeling this sense all day as if, like, I need to know why I'm here. I need to know what I'm doing now. I need to know my purpose. I need to know exactly what step to take next, always. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's okay to ride the wave and just feel uncomfortable in the unknowingness. I feel very emotional all of a sudden. This is good. Usually I come on here really excited in the mornings, and I have lots of things to share, very detailed, lots of ideas. And I'm coming on here this evening kind of wanting to ask you guys, like, hey, Andrew, good evening. I'm wanting to ask you guys, like, do you ever wonder why you're here? Is there ever that sense of, like, what are we doing? What am I doing? And I've been feeling that today, and I would just say that sometimes it's okay not to know. And I think that was the big lesson today for me. I had a meeting with a bunch of clients today, beautiful. And I felt great. And then it was like, once it was over, I felt once again that sense of, like, what am I doing? I knew what I was doing when I was doing it, but I wasn't when I'm not doing it just today. When I wasn't doing it, I was, like, kind of lost. And that's okay. And what my coach would say, what my business coach would say, and what I share with my clients is this. It's like when you're in that confused state, like I'm in a feeling of confusion right now. I feel like I'm going to cry. I feel a bit of perfectionism right now that's coming out. And I know when I feel perfectionism, it means that I'm aware of it. So that means I can get through it. So I want to share that with you. Anything that you're starting to become aware of in your life, like just allow yourself to feel it. It's totally okay. And you're never the same person. You have 500 million new cells every day. And so do I. And I know that I'll wake up tomorrow and have a different perspective. Partly because I shared with you guys right now. So I'm really grateful for you to be here. Like I was just feeling a little off, and I thought, I bet other people feel like this too. Maybe now, or maybe yesterday or tomorrow. But there's no reason to judge the feeling. It's just a feeling of in between sometimes. And that's what I'm feeling today. I guarantee you I will be probably taking photos and doing video and all that kind of fun stuff from the event this weekend. And by this time next week, I will be a new woman. And you will be a new woman or man or boy or girl or grandma or grandpa or husband or wife or brother or sister or whatever you are in the week, because your body literally is brand new every, I forget how many days. I've got to remember it because I just heard it I wrote it down, but I want to, before I quote it, all I know is you have 500 million new cells every day. That's the number that I keep remembering, because this is I'm going to give you a little idea. Thanks for the heart, Emily. I love you. I love you because, yeah, I want to pause and say, I'm going to just pause and just reverse and say that just made me think, why are we here? Love. We're here to love. I felt a little bit off, and I got on here because I love y'all. And I get love. I feel loved back when I get these hearts and stuff. It feels good. And I really love the journey that I'm on of even embracing the unknowingness of like, why am I here? What am I doing? And I'm going to share with you like something, I'm here to step into my value. I'm here to show others they're worth more. It's like, oh, I got giggly, right? Oh my God. So exciting. I literally love showing people how much they're worth. I was in a call tonight and I was sharing with everybody. I was like, I'm kind of freaking out. Not like super freaking out, but just in the back door freaking out. There's like this underlying thing going on that's keeping me from moving forward. I can feel it. And everybody else start to let go and be like, oh my God, I haven't done that, blah, 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 blah. Totally judging themselves like they weren't far enough along. I'll stop saying judging. I don't think he likes that word. Anyways, so there's this sense of when we don't know where we are, or we don't know exactly where we're going, trust. It's okay. It's not a bad feeling. It's just an in-between feeling. And you just keep going. My girlfriend, I was in the bathtub yesterday. I love to talk to friends in the bathtub. On the phone sometimes. It's super fun. Not always, but sometimes. And I was talking to my girlfriend, and she said, Lila, she goes, nothing you've done is really that hard. It's not like you've gone out and done physical labor and like hurt yourself and scraped your knees up. And she goes, you just show up for yourself every day. And I really think like that's kind of why we're here. It's just, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I have no idea. I'm going to tell you what, brothers and sisters, I've been through some. My life was not one that anybody would want. How many of you had a life that like at some period of time, at least like for a year, 2 years, 10 years, 18 years, I don't know. I've had a part of your life. You're like, I wouldn't want somebody to have that life. That's how I was growing up. Like I had a not fun childhood. Didn't really just pushed hard all the time. Just go. Appease. Everybody say yes to everything. For like 20 years after I got away from my abusive mother. And then I still was like, why am I here? What am I doing? And some days I still don't know. Like today, I still feel like that in between place. But what I do know is I'm here to spread love myself, connect with other people. honor Speedy Gonzalez because he has a lot to say. So I would say animals show us unconditional love. It's one way to see why we're here. I'm here to help other people see their light through shining my light. I'm here to wear robes, probably on Facebook. I don't know why. Is this warm and cozy? This is what I'm being more my authentic self. I'm getting ready for this like speaking event this weekend. It's going to be really vulnerable. So I was like, I want to take my robe off and make myself look all pretty for y'all. And I was like, I'm just going to go on with my robe because this is actually one of the way I do. I sit at home sometimes in my robe. I'll come home in a dress and heels and put a robe on and sit down on the computer and write for an hour. I love my robe. There's something about it. So why am I here? Why are you here? I think we're here to connect. I think we're here to love. I think we're here to learn lots of lessons and then move forward and learn some more and then move forward and learn some more and just trust that the path will be revealed over and over and over again. And then we have a lot of choice in terms of which way we go. We're humans. We have free will. That's what makes us human. It's beautiful. We have lots of choices in our life, choices to show up. Like my friend Sarah said, she goes, Lila, you just show up for yourself every day. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's right. Just the hardest part is putting on your shoes or sitting up or getting up or whatever. And that's what life is about. So if you're having challenges, reach out to me, reach out to somebody, get somebody in your life that supports that sense of accountability. Like, how are you going to show up bigger for yourself this year to get what you want? It's like, I'm going to tell you a little story here. I know that I'm here to help people with their bodies, with their bank account, with their self-worth. There's certain things that I know. So I stay on that path. Like, I'm not going to try to help people with growing ferns. That's like the first. I couldn't think of anything better than that. I hope that's great. Makes sense. But I'm not an expert at growing ferns. So if somebody starts having a conversation about growing ferns, I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm not going to go over there and tell them how to grow ferns. Like, I know how to grow ferns. No. But if somebody wants to increase their self-worth, if they want to, grow their bank account and have their body in a way that feels young and vibrant, like, I'm going to give insight. And that's part of why I'm here on the planet, is to give insight about the things that I've learned about and experienced and that I know work for people if they're willing and open. And so today on Facebook this morning, there was a thread about somebody asked some questions and wanted some support, and I gave some ideas. And what was fascinating was like, and this happens over and over with me, so it's totally cool. But I'll give insight, and it's not like it's unwarranted insight or advice, because it's a Facebook post asking for advice, for God's sake. But when my advice is not liked, it's very clear that it's not welcomed. If it's not liked, it's not welcomed. And I would say that part of our purpose here is to be okay with, find our tribe, but also go outside of our tribe and be okay with what everybody else is doing too. Like, that sense of really seeing how we're all connected, and it's all okay that we're doing our own thing, because we're all doing our own thing. And if you're not doing your own thing, you need to be doing your own thing. And if you need to figure out what your thing is, let's chat, right? But that's another reason why we're here. It's like to start to stop the judgment, to stop, like, it's fascinating. And what I'm recognizing more and more and more, it's like I'm judging others less and less, and still judging myself. And I think that's been a day like that where I've really recognized, like, wow, I spent the whole weekend mind gaming myself around this speech. And that's not why we're here. We're not meant to sit in days and days of worrying about something. I have a mentor who talks about Micah Springer, who's written a book called Keepers of the Story. And she's talking about visiting these African tribes, and they don't have like words for past. They're just so in the now, because if they were living in the past, they'd probably get eaten by like a hyena or something. So they have hyenas. So I know that's not something, like hyenas are there. I know that for sure. So they need to be in the present moment in order to maximize their quality of life. And I would argue that you and we all need to be in the present moment to maximize the quality of life. And that's another reason why we're probably here, is to maximize the quality of life, so we don't have to learn these same lessons next lifetime. So we can just learn them in this lifetime. Learn as many lessons as we can, with as much, hopefully, grace and ease as possible. Connect to as many people as you're supposed to. Some of us aren't supposed to connect with a bunch of people. Some of us are. I'm supposed to connect with a bunch of people, I believe, in this lifetime. How do I know? Because I already have. Maybe that's all ever. Maybe tomorrow I won't connect with too many more. I doubt it, because it's just part of my path. Some of us are supposed to have, connect with less people. That's part of why we're here. Some of us are supposed to raise families. Some of us are supposed to raise dogs. Some of us are supposed to prune trees or create inventions. I believe one of my purposes is to help bridge the gap between the masculine and feminine. It's like really important to me right now, this part of my life at least, of recognizing that there's this really big gap between the masculine and feminine energy within oneself, the masculine and feminine dynamic between male and female, and even the masculine and feminine energy running through the institutional systems. And so I really believe that all the work that I do, even being here, being willing to be vulnerable, sharing, like talking, connecting, and yet it's still being a kind of a masculine technology. You got to download and push the button, but then I get to get on here and talk to you. Actually, I want to share a story real quick with you guys about us, me in 6th grade. Cool? Give me some hearts if you like stories. I love stories. Story times. Like, I literally wish I had somebody right now who would tell me a story as I went to sleep at night. I literally, please send me him. Make sure he cooks too, because I like good food. Anyways, I just felt a little vulnerable all of a sudden. That was funny. So in 6th grade, I had how 6th grade girls are like, a lot of them, you can imagine I was a talker in 6th grade. And I love talking. I remember my friend Kim Miller. So if anybody watches this later, we went to school together. Hello. Kim Miller and I maybe were friends in middle school. And I had some other friends too. And we like to talk to each other, but the teacher separated us. It was like way too much, probably, right? And it totally makes sense. These young girls are disturbing everybody because they won't be quiet. So she separated us, one on one side and one on the other side, 2 sides of the room. So what do? Learn sign language. Boom! That's what a visionary brain does, brothers and sisters. You get to the point where you're like, I'll figure it out. Sign language. So I really believe that Facebook to me is like sign language in 6th grade, because I can connect with people in Australia, in Indonesia, in Canada, in Spain, in Greece, in South America, in Africa, in the Caribbean, all over. I need some Antarctica friends. Oh my gosh, Australia. I'm making Australian friends, and I'm just like so psyched about it because I have a little obsession with Australia. I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen down there, but it's going to be amazing when I go. Just trusting that I have this feeling inside that's like, when it's time, when the calling is right, when it's time, pack up the bags and going down there. And it's going to be a beautiful journey. And I have a feeling I'm going to meet some beautiful souls and have a beautiful, really experience more so for myself. I really believe, I'm going to just share this now because it's coming to me. Part of what we're here to do too is listen. Listen to the intuition, to the subtle voice, to the subtleties of life that are actually bringing you forward faster than the loud voices. So there's this subtle ringing within me to go to Australia. I have no idea why. Right now, what keeps coming to me, though, it's not the cities or the beaches. It's the middle of the nation where there's vast nothingness. I don't know why. Actually, I'm going to share something with you guys. If it's cool, I'm going to pull some goddess cards. Some goddess chakra cards. Thanks for spending the evening with me. It's really sweet. So I actually found these at an ecstatic dance event recently. Hey, Allison, I'm probably going to pull one or whatever falls out. Aboriginal goddess chakra cards. And I'm actually talking about this, like, when you have intuition, you just have to listen to it. It was the same thing with these cards. I really believe, part of the reason why we're here is like to not know why we're here and just to listen. Sometimes we don't know. Like this calling to go to Australia, I've been meeting Australian friends even here in Denver. I have a beautiful friend, Carrie. She's a manifestation queen. And so she's a coach, and she has clients all over the world. Beautiful soul, beautiful family. We go to church together. We go to all sorts of stuff. I'm actually going to work out with her soon. It's going to be super fun. But there's another woman I just met up with yesterday in Boulder with a women's group that we're doing conscious sexuality group around awakening the cervix, which if you want to know about, send me a message. It's very forward thinking work, and combines, the power of the woman's body with the ease of the woman's heart, I would say. It's really beautiful. So anyways, with that said, intuition, listen to your intuition, learn how to listen, learn how to feel like, I don't know why I'm here, but let's just listen to what the next step was instead of deciding, listening. And I just listened in Australia, and I thought about these cards actually right before this, and I thought, I'll leave them. And of course, here we are. So I listened. I'm like, okay, here we are. I'm going to just go ahead and shuffle them and ask you guys, like, if there's any questions you have, because if there's some questions you have, I can pull a card for you. That would be super. Oh, there's two. Well, listen. Okay. So there's two cards. They both fell on the floor. There's a first and then the second. Oh, my heart is ringing now. Okay, give me some hearts. Hey, Anastasia, good evening. Give me some hearts if you've ever played with cards or tarot cards or goddess cards or chakra cards or something. So these are Aboriginal from Australia. The artwork is by one woman, and the write-up is from another woman, and an Aboriginal woman in Australia. How cool is that? So I have this really beautiful obsession with Australia, and here we get to play with it this evening. Spiritual awakening. I found these in Denver just a couple weeks ago, and I've really never been that into them, and now I'm like so into them, and I'm like, oh, I just can't stand it, but I just want to play with them. There's like this weird thing. I get it now. I didn't get it before, now I get it. You just like are drawn to these cards. They just come up, and you're like, ooh, I think I should pull a card. You have no idea why. Like it didn't happen, and then it happened, and here we are. So I've done angel cards. I have tarot. Allison's, oh, so cool. Yeah, I love that. So I'm just gonna. So once again, these are the spiritual awakening. So you can see this beautiful woman, and there's, I'm just gonna ask you, like, what do you see here? I'm gonna share with you what I see. It's what I've been talking about this lately. I'm going to see what the book says, but I've been talking about this, like, I believe the next step in our evolution is reintegrating nature. You see how she's like bringing nature back into her body? It actually kind of makes me feel emotional looking at the card. It's beautiful. I can feel like my insides vibrating more. But it's like she's allowing the light from within the tree to come into her. I really think it's beautiful. I'm curious what you see. So I wish I had a little pen I was getting more into grounding. Yeah, that's totally true. I see grounding too. She's in the forest. So the human, like, I just went and saw Deepak Chopra, and there's all this research now that shows your DNA is actually reset if you go out in nature and ground. So get your grounding on, girl. I need to listen. I've been sitting in front of these lights all day. I need to get out there and ground before the night's over, because you'll reset your DNA. It's beautiful research coming out. So I love that you brought that forward. And when we reset our DNA, I'm looking closer. It looks like she's sort of cuddling with the tree. I don't know if you can see it. It's like the light's not that good, but it's like she's almost like cuddling with the tree. If you can see her face, it's sort of hard to see with that lighting. I was thinking the same thing. Allison said, yeah. Okay. So that's the white chakra. White. You see the outside's white. The next one's yellow. The outside's white. So on the white, the spiritual awakening. Oh my gosh. It's on page 8, and 8's my favorite number. How fun I get to share this with y'all. Super fun. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate your presence this evening. So here's the spiritual awakening card, the white goddess chakra. It says, have you ever experienced that light bulb moment when suddenly everything just falls into place? Where the key pieces of the puzzle finally fit and it begins to take shape. and form the skeleton of the picture. You haven't finished the puzzle yet. I actually had a big idea today. I'm going to tell you guys. The puzzle's not finished yet, but you're getting a glimpse of what it might look like when it's completed. Spiritual awakening is a profound moment in time. It embraces your sense or your true sense of understanding from your very soul. How cool is that? You may not even fully appreciate the gravity of what you are learning right now, as it is so great. However, over the next few days, it will become clearer and will give you a very deep insight into yourself. Regardless of the situation, this new revelation has brought you close to self. And it's provided you with a foundation on which to understand yourself at a far deeper and more profound spiritual level than you have ever before understood. You still have some ways to go. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I was just talking about this. I got this whole thing this weekend, y'all. Boom. You still have some ways to go. Yet this is the beginning of a new journey in your life story, which will prove to be a major turning point. So I'll share with you guys. I actually, like 2 years ago, went to see Tony Robbins, and I'm doing my bangs the other way. I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm practicing my bangs the other way. I'm trying to like even my face out, even my body out, because it's using my left side more than my right. So I'm changed my bangs. So I keep going this way instead of this way. Anyways, so 2 years ago, I literally went to a Tony Robbins event. I watched what he was doing. And this isn't egotistical. It's just the truth, what happened. I watched him and I was like, I can do that. I'm already doing it in yoga. He was saying, move your body and change your mind. In a 3-hour event, of course, where there's lots of stories woven in, and he has a way of doing, of course. But I recognize that if I spent the time working on my speech and I got the right insight, like the right advice, and I just did it over and over and over and over and over, like I would get good and I would know what I was doing. And this weekend, I'm like at the peak, at the end of a 6-month speaking coaching program. I've spoken 4 times throughout the last 6 months. What I've said has come true, right? And I'm just going to continue to hone my craft and use it just as a way to connect with people. It's not really a big deal. It's not really about me being on stage and speaking, but I love, and you can talk to people that I've spoken in front of so far. It's like, they'll tell you, and maybe they won't. But I would say 95 to 90%, 95% of them probably say that they felt connected to me because I really care. I just love people. I want to know what you guys are doing. I want to know what you're up to. I want to know what your dreams are. I want to know what's stopping you from getting there. I want to give you some insight on how to help you to get further, whether that be work with me or not. Just let's have a conversation and be like, have you ever thought about this? Like, I love that. That drives me. It's what I do day in and day out. It's what makes me happy and live longer. So anyways, on and on and on. But I want to know, what does this mean to you? Do you feel like you're in that spot where you're like, I know more's coming. I'm not quite there, but I'm there. Let me know what part of your life. Okay. So the next card, there's 2 that popped out. The next one's creativity. So take a moment, and I'm going to put this in front of my face so you can't see me. So just look at it. And notice what comes up. Oh, Allison said I need to go outside. I've been a hermit the last few days. Me too, sister. Well, today, because I've just been, actually, no, I did get out a little bit. I just need to get out some more. What comes up? Creativity. I'm going to share with you what I'm seeing. It's funny because I want to finish my book, and I've had some resistance, like, I don't know what I'm writing about. And I'm like, it's all starting to really come through. And it's like, I need to get it down. And what I see also, it's like I see the masculine and feminine. I was just talking about masculine and feminine, bridging masculine and feminine. You know, I see this book, and then I see this V, which is sort of like the feminine legs, open between legs, and then the snake is the masculine serpent, And then there's this, 1 + 1 = 3. So there's this beautiful light creation that comes out of it. So if you combine masculine and feminine, there's a creation that comes out of it. That's what I see. I'm curious what you guys see. Glad I was the only. Anastasia said, yeah, girl, book time. Woo. Yeah, she's an author friend. She's working on even, probably her second book at this point. Glad I wasn't the only one seeing genitals. Girl, I saw it too, right? Genitals, a book, and a baby. Look what I'm birthing. I bet you this is probably going to be a big deal. So it's all related. So let's see. So that's yellow chakra. Okay, yellow chakra, creativity. Let me pull the card. I'm actually getting kind of warm now, so totally taking the robe off. This is what I do all day. Hot, cold, hot, cold. Actually, I'm not all day. When I start talking, I get really warmed up. You guys get warmed up when you talk? You guys do a video or you talk on the phone with your girlfriends and you're like, oh man, I'm hot all of a sudden. Get all jazzed. Okay, so here's the creativity. I'm going to read this way. Hold the card up again so you guys can kind of see it. Creativity. Hey, Erica. Good evening. So I'm pulling these goddess chakra cards. They're from Australian Aboriginal women, the artist here, and also the writer. They're two different people, but they're both from Australia, Aboriginal women. Beautiful. Fine. And I'm just kind of obsessed with them right now. First time I've ever been obsessed with cards. Now I get the obsession. They have this like weird thing where you just like, I just could feel my heart flutter. I'm not kidding. My heart is fluttering. It's so strange. I love it though. So here we are. Creativity. Let's talk about creativity. I want to ask you, like, do you think you're a creative soul? Are you a creative person? I used to think I wasn't creative. And then I said, well, I'm creative when I cook and in my fashion. And then I realized, oh, I was just totally squashing my creativity because I was like in this major science mode. Like, I'm a scientist. I need to have structure, blah, 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 blah. And structure is challenging for me. So everything was just, structure is actually great though. So I built structure in my business. Anyways, I could talk about structure all day. That's not the point here. I really believe though, I'll talk about structure and creativity real quick. Structure gives you space for creativity. So build structure in your life. I was talking about a Facebook post earlier. That was what I suggested. I said, calendar it. You'll get it done. The likelihood, and somebody did not want to hear that. They didn't want to take that kind of responsibility for their own life, is calendaring something. So, but I really believe that calendaring something, get it down. Like, how many of you calendar stuff? Give me a heart. Give me a heart. If you're like, yeah, for calendars, woohoo. I used to resist them. And then once I did, oh my gosh, it's like a second brain. Your calendar is like a second brain, friends. You do not have to keep it in your brain. Brain is not a storage facility. Your brain is a processor. Get that stuff out of your brain, but put in your calendar. Okay. Creativity is the passion, because then when you have stuff in your calendar, you have space to be creative. That's what this is all about right now. Okay, let's see what it says. Creativity is the passion of the spirit. The passion of the spirit. Who wants more passion in their spirit? Who wants their spirit to feel more passionate? I do too. I'm pretty passionate, but I can feel it. Like, I'm like, yeah, I could be more excited. And it's spirit's way of expressing itself in so many different methods. Without the, oh, I love that. I was just talking about that. Like, we're all different. We're all different. Why not just accept it? Right now, just accept it. Look at everybody around you in your life that's like irritating you and be like, huh, you're different. Cool. Interesting. Okay. Without the opportunity to express ourselves, we would all be the same. It is our creativity which encourages us to be individual and take risks that go outside of the norm. How many of you guys want to be outside of the norm? I know my author friends. I know my speaker friends. I know all my visionary entrepreneur friends. Playing outside of the box, right? Many of you, the way you parent now, the way you make love, the way you eat, the way you work with your finances, everybody's playing a little bit different. You're growing your own food, maybe. I'm so excited. I want to grow my own food. That's my next like big thing. I'm like, I'm like a city girl, grew up in the city, so I'm going to grow my own food. I'm super excited. Creativity allows us the freedom of self. This is so cool. And this is what we all want. We just want to be ourselves. And this freedom offers often comes at a price. Others who are less fortunate to find the courage to embrace their creativity. So I'm going to read that again. Others who are less fortunate to find the courage to express their creativity can often be driven by fear and present as being sarcastic and pessimistic. So if you play outside the norm and you're kind of like creative and weird sometimes, like how many people have been creative and weird and somebody's like been sarcastic or pessimistic to you? Yeah, I got some hearts. Thanks, girl. Yeah, and yet you still step up and be weird. I love it. I love it. That's what we need. Anastasia Button over here. She's amazing. She's an author and speaker, and she has in Trinio University where she helps people with all sorts of topics around entrepreneurship and building a business and growing a business and expanding a business. So you seem surrounded by naysayers. Do you seem surrounded by haters? Haters gonna hate. Or somebody like doubting your dreams? I was around dream doubters a lot of my life. Like I'm like, people like, you're crazy. You can't do that. Okay. All right. I'll just sit back here. No more safe path. No more of that. You might be surrounded by naysayers who want you to take the safe path, the path that is dull yet predictable. A lot of my clients deal with this, right? It's like other people in their life don't get what they want to do because they're visionaries. They want something bigger. They want more quality of life for themselves. Not everybody understands that. It's okay. The path that is dull yet predictable and won't hold any surprises or challenges for you. So predictability often doesn't hold enough challenges for people, and they want lessons in life to grow their soul. It's a good choice for them. So how many of you guys want more lessons in life? How many of you guys are okay with more lessons, even if they're not like the most comfortable? You're like, I'm ready. Anastasia said, weird are the coolest people ever. That's why, birds of a feather flock together. And even if we're like, I always call us like the land of the misfit toys, love my people. Even the yoga I do is kind of weird, right? The movement I do, everything is a little bit different. I don't care. Love it. So this says you will wither away without the opportunity of challenges. What kind of challenges do you want? As there would be no creativity to work. So you need challenges to be more creative, okay? Have you ever been like in a challenging position and you came up with some creative solution and you were like, boom, made it happen? Done it all the time, right? I could tell stories after stories. Like I was kicked out of my house when I was 18. Dad got drunk. Mom already left. She'd already moved out. Dad got drunk, came home, kicked me out, mad at me for not taking the trash to the bag of trash out. And I was scared, and I figured it was really challenging, actually. There's a big story around that. I'll share some other time. But I just bit my tongue because I got nervous. I literally just bit my tongue. I'm just calling it out. I got nervous and bit my tongue just now. How many do you guys get like nervous and like you're like rah, and bite your tongue? I just did it. It was like subtle. It's not gonna hurt later kind of bite your tongue. Not that kind of tongue biting. Like I can still drink lemon water and be okay. But I could feel like that little like yeah. So because of that challenge though, when I was 18, I really feel that the challenges that I have faced after that, and I had this divorce that was really not pretty. All of these challenges that I faced with my career shift, financial challenges I've had before, it's all been amazing because then I realized like nothing's that bad. Everything's okay. Just keep going. Like figure out like, how can I get creative to work towards the solution? Always. When I was 18 and I got kicked out, I figured out a way. I found the job that I needed. I found the place that I needed. I got the advice. I didn't even have a bank account. I didn't have a bank account at 18. I didn't know what to do. And yet I get creative. I figured it out, right? You just do. It's like, you're totally fine. That was hard. And most of you aren't dealing with problems where you're like out on the street with no bank account. Like you're probably better off than that. Just remember, you have a lot going on. So just get creative. If there's a challenge, and if you need support, I really believe, like reach out to other people who are either doing what you want to do or have some ideas that might help you out. Because two minds alike, this right here, I bet it's going to say it. I'm going on and on. I get so excited. This right here says that it takes more than one person, one energy to bring something really amazing forward. Ooh, this is good for me to even hear. I would love, I'm actually calling in. I would love some support, in my business. Like I love partnership of some sort, right? It would be really fun to be able to work with somebody who can help me out with my computer stuff, there's just all of these things that I have a capacity to do, but I don't have time. There's so many things, and that's how business is now. And there's ways of building your vision and reaching the world in a way that you want to, if you build the tools out. And I have time. Let me say that I do have time. I'm prioritizing other things ahead of those things. And so I can still do those things. I'm just not doing them now. It might take me longer, so I can get my business growing faster when I get support. I'm in that space right now. So it's I really believe this other thing of if you ever wonder why you're here, like I said before, hey Leslie, hey John, is to connect with people. Okay, I'm going on and on. I'm going to read this, creativity. Do you guys ever talk on and on? I always say it's like an Italian mom, because I think that I wish I had an Italian mom. It's funny. You are a brilliant person. You are a brilliant problem solver. And you may get bored when there are no challenges. Do you ever get bored? Like, I'm bored. Go find a challenge. Go find some challenge. Don't allow these people to dampen your spirit. So if there's people in your life that are dampening your spirit, and I'm going to say if you are dampening your spirit, you feel like you're dampening your spirit, or you're saying things to yourself dampening your spirit, that check in with yourself. And you need to continue on the path less traveled. Just stay the course. It's the less traveled road isn't always the easiest. And yet, you'll experience the most growth. It consists of the most fun, and the most challenges will only further enhance your existing skills and knowledge. The more challenges that we're willing to put on, the more that the existing skills and knowledge we have will grow. Oh, and it has a prosperous ending. Oh, I'm taking it. You guys ready, guys? Okay, Mark Hadcastle, you're there too. All right, everybody, who's ever here? We got a couple people on live. Thank you so much. Give me some hearts. I'm going to read this to you because this is good. This is good. This says, basically, stay the course, even if it's challenging, because when you do, it will be prosperous, both financially and emotionally. How many people would love more money and love your energy just to be more smooth, have more energy, be, more emotionally stable? Not that you're emotionally unstable, but just more in touch with what's needed at all times. Wouldn't that be cool? All of us could use that. Not react as much, not be scared of anything. So stay the course. Know that you're the sense of awakening, and whatever that means to you. And then creativity, honoring that place within you that presents challenges with an open mind and a willingness to shift and change the course if needed, and receive some new insight and take action on it and all of that. So excuse me. I hope this was useful for you this evening. I hope you have considered, how can you be more you? How can you, feel into why you're here? And I would say just be more you. Be more you, be more you, be more you. That's the lesson. I really appreciate your presence with me here this evening, because I was actually having a little bit of, like I said when I first started this, I'm going to wrap this up with the way I started, is that I was having this feeling of kind of existential crisis. Like, what am I doing? Why am I here? I feel great when I'm working with my clients and talking to other people, and I'm going to spend some time this evening by myself. And but I just was feeling, and what I would say is, if you ever feel like that, it's often because you're growing. So don't just allow yourself to feel it. Don't judge yourself around it. Just feel like, isn't that interesting that I'm questioning my existence? It doesn't matter. We're not really here. We're moving, we're always changing. So the question is actually, what do I want to feel like? I already know the answer. I want to feel like I'm having fun. That's the answer. That's actually been the answer all day. It keeps coming through. I somehow keep forgetting. No, I'm not forgetting. I've been reminded all day over and over and over through a variety of ways, and that's how the universe works. So have fun. My name is Lila. Hey, Tim! So good to see you. My name is Lila. Lila means divine play. And I hope that you are able to play with the divine energy that lies within you. So many blessings. Faith Young, I hope that your heart feels so warm this evening. And I'm going to say namaste. And what namaste means is the existing that I am, the existence that I am, really honors the existence that you are and honors the fact that we're connected, that we're one. You are me, I am you. Namaste, friends. I love you guys so much. Happy, 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 happy evening. Blessings for a really warm evening of rest.